Hi boys and girls, welcome to Friday night's edition of Books and Cooks. We had our second day of remote learning today, and it's about time for me to make a very quick dinner. I'm not running out to the grocery store tonight. It's still snowing. Haven't shoveled the driveway, or my husband hasn't snowblowed the driveway yet. So I'm going to just use some things I have in my refrigerator and make a really quick dinner for you. But before I do that, I had to think of a book that might go along with my dinner. And this one I borrowed from Mrs. Keener. It's called Give Me Half by Stuart J. Murphy and illustrated by G. Brian Harris. It's a little bit of a math book this time. It reminds me a lot of that story, As the Doorbell Rang, that I read last year when I made that big, giant, pizza-sized chocolate chip cookie for Mr. Smith's birthday. Do you remember that one? If you don't remember it, go to my YouTube channel and look up that book and you'll see the story and the recipe I made. So it's called Give Me Half, and we're going to use a little bit of our math skills. We're going to enjoy the story, and then I bet you can see what I'm going to make for dinner tonight. You've got it, pizza. But I'm going to make it a little bit differently than maybe you've ever made it. So it's something to give you an idea. Here we go. Let's enjoy the story first. Give Me Half. Let's see how this story goes. Thank you to Mrs. Keener for letting me borrow her book. This is how it starts. Let's see. This is hard because I'm on a different part of my kitchen today. Oh, maybe I'll just have to sit and do it this way. I'll fold the book back. All right. It says, I have one whole pizza, and it's all for me. And the girl comes and says, I'm going to get some pizza. Just wait and see. Okay, now we have 2 children and 1 pizza. I know you want some pizza, sis. You only get 1 slice. Oh no, the book is called Give Me Half. I don't think that's going to work. You better give me more than that. Why can't you be nice? So she doesn't want just 1 slice. Oh my goodness, I see. Let me see if like this. It was like they had like half. Look at that. Look like half a dog, but it's actually his head. You have to share the pizza. It must be split in 2. The pieces should be cut the same for each of you. Oh, the grown-ups coming in and saying, oh, no, 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 no. Cut it in half. So let's look at this math problem. Are you ready? It says half plus half makes a whole. 1/2 pizza and 1/2 pizza makes 1 whole pizza. And then we've got the fractions down here. 1/2 and 1/2 is 1. 1/2 plus 1/2 equals 1. Lots of ways to do the math. All right, that's pretty easy. Half plus half makes 1. What is that behind her back? The last can of juice, I think. If he takes some juice from me, I won't have much to drink. Oh dear, now they might have to split a can of juice. And you know what the boy said? I gave you half of mine, so you must share yours too. And the girl said, I'll give you just a sip, but not until I'm through. Is that fair? If she starts sipping from it? How do you think they could do that? She has 1 can of juice. Let's see what they do. Here comes the grown-ups. Split the juice in half. Again, you have to share. And when you pour it out, make sure you pour it fair. So let's see how they're going to pour the juice. Ready? Half and half makes one whole can. Do you see how they did that? They just leveled it off. 1/2 can of juice and 1/2 can of juice equals 1 whole can of juice. Half and half is 1, or half plus half equals 1. So we can use some math terms there. The plus and the equals. Uh-oh, look what's coming next. I know she has some cupcakes. I saw her with a pack. I see it. There's 2 in the pack. This is going to be super easy to split. I'm going to hide my cupcakes and save them for a snack. Do you see them right here? It's like those cupcakes, those Hostess ones you buy where 2 come in a pack. That's pretty easy to share if there's 2 people and 2 cupcakes. Hey, what's that on your chair? You better give me some. No, I'm gonna eat them by myself and leave you just a crumb. Boy, they're not being very kind. Here comes the grown-up. Your cupcakes must be shared. And do I need repeat? You both get half the pack. And don't you dare cheat. Now look at this. So simple. Look at 1 and 1 make 2. 1 cupcake and 1 cupcake make a pack of 2 cupcakes. And then they wrote it like this. 1 and 1 is 2. 1 plus 1 equals 2. 1 is half of 2. Wow, that's an interesting way to think of that. 1 is half of 2. Yes, it is. I'm starting to think of all kinds of things I could split in 2. I have a stack of cookies, and you're just getting 1 bite. You better give me half that stack, or else I'll start a fight. Boy, they really need to learn to share. Hey, wait! Let's see, what's he doing? He ate them. Too late. Oh my goodness, you'll never believe what's happening. Wow. Boy, my mom and my dad would be so mad if this happened in my kitchen. They're having a food fight. Look at this. But they're actually laughing. Looks like they're having a good time. You see all the food flying all over the place? Oh my goodness. I see the soda and the cookies and the pizza. The juice and the pizza and the cupcakes. Yikes, now there's a big mess. There are cookies on the floor. There's pizza everywhere. There's juice spilled on the table and sticky stuff on my chair. Oh my gosh. The book is called Give Me Half. So let's think about this now. They have a huge mess. Do you think one person should clean it? Or do you think they should each clean half of the mess? What do you think? What's the fair thing to do? Let me see if you're right. Are you predicting? This is what the boy said. We're going to be in trouble. We've made a great big mess, but I have made no more than you, and you have made no less. He's actually telling her that they made the mess equally. Ooh, we'd better each clean half. There's so much work to do. But will be done in half the time. How are they going to be done in half the time? If Buddy helps us too. Look at them. They're making the dog help. And he had nothing to do with it. But it also looks like they're working together finally to clean up the mess. That was a cute story. I think they actually had a little bit of fun. The interesting part about this book is they give all kinds of suggestions of things you can do with your friends or with your parents. It said, if you would like to have fun with some math and give me half, here are a few suggestions. Why don't you read the story and describe what's going on in each picture? Ask questions. What happens when you share one whole pizza with another person? How much pizza will you get? How should the pizza be cut if it needs to be shared fairly? We could talk about words like half and whole and share and divide and equal. Maybe you could even draw some pictures of things that you could share equally. That would be an idea. Or just like go into the real world, like go in your kitchen and start looking for things that could be shared equally. Let me see what I have around me. Okay, so like this apple. What if I needed to cut it in half and share it equally amongst two people? Well, I could do it two ways, right? I could cut it down this way, and then everybody would get half. And if I cut it this way, you would still get half, but because the top is larger than the bottom, the person on the bottom wouldn't actually get a fair share, would they? If you wanted it to be exactly equal. So what would the best way be to cut this if you want it to be exactly? I'd say right down the middle. All right, I'm gonna do that and I'll bring it up. Here we go. Let's see. Ready? Half plus half makes 1. And here we go. Everybody gets equal, a fair share. That's cool. What else? What if I had a package of Pop-Tarts? Oh, you know what I feel? This is reminding me of the cupcakes. There's 2 in this package. All right, so easy now, right? A fair share. You want half, and I want half. Here we go. There you go, equal and fair. But if I only had 1, I could split it down this way. That would be fair. I could split it this way. That would be fair. What if I went diagonal? That also would be a fair share. Isn't that interesting? Think about all the different things we could do to share things equally or in half. Why don't you go around your kitchen and hunt around and see, and then do some experimenting and do some cutting. Right? Okay, so obviously it was called Give Me Half, and on here was a pizza. And usually a pizza is something you can cut into a fair share. You could cut it down this way. You could cut it across this way. It almost doesn't matter which way you cut it if you're only cutting it in half, right? You will end up getting 2 equal pieces because it's a circle, especially if it's a perfect circle, okay? So I want to show you how to make pizza tonight, the way I'm going to make it, and then we'll cut it in half, and I'll give you a fair share, and I'll get a fair share. Or maybe I'll make 2, and 1 for me and 1 for Mr. Gagliardi, and then we'll have a fair share. But I guess that would only work if they were actually equal in size. Let's wait and see. All right, so for today's cooking, move my book, Give Me Half. We're going to make a very, very quick pizza dough, all right? Now, you can go buy your own pizza dough, absolutely. Let me move this down again. Okay, you could go buy your own pizza dough at the grocery store and just use that if you want. Or you can make your own. And this is gonna be called a 2-ingredient pizza dough. It's gonna taste a tiny bit different than your regular pizza dough, but it's actually super healthy because it's made with something called Greek yogurt, right? Let me show you. Oh, it's dripping. I always keep Greek yogurt in my refrigerator. Here it is, Chobani. I like this brand. It's just plain whole milk. Let's see if you could see it. Greek yogurt, okay? You buy any brand you like, all right? But I happen to like this brand or whatever's on sale because I love things that are on sale. Let me show you what it looks like inside. Okay, this is what it looks like, okay? I already used some of it, as you can tell. I use this in my smoothies, I put it on a baked potato, and I always make a lot of pizza dough with it, okay? So here's what you do. You take 1 cup, this already has some flour on it, okay? A 1 cup measure, and you scoop 1 cup of Greek yogurt. It does not have to be perfectly exact, all right? Should have had a spatula with me, but I don't, all right? About 1 cup of Greek yogurt. I'm gonna use my knife because it's all I have. Didn't bring my spatula today. Into a bowl, okay? That's 1. And 2 cups of something called self-rising flour. There it is, okay? It's not your regular flour. It's called self-rising flour. Now, if you don't have self-rising flour, go and Google how to make self-rising flour. I think it is 1 cup of regular flour to 2 teaspoons of baking soda. And then you have to like sift it through like a colander, one of those things with holes, so that it gets really mixed well. And then you add your Greek yogurt. But I take the easy way out, and I always have a bag of self-rising flour in my pantry. So next time you go to the grocery store, get a bag and leave it in there because it's good for all kinds of recipes. Go and Google, what can I do with self-rising flour? You can make pretzel bites, you know those things you buy at the mall? You could do that with self-rising flour. You can make your own bagels with self-rising flour, and you can make this pizza crust. So easy way, get a bag, it lasts forever. All right, so we're gonna take the bag of self-rising flour, and I have already dumped it in a bowl like that, okay? And what I like to do with my self-rising flour is I just mix it to kind of loosen it up. I don't want it to be too packed, okay? So we have the 1 cup of the Greek yogurt, and into that, I'm gonna add 2 cups of the self-rising flour. And that's it. That's all I'm going to add, okay? That's it, all right? Then what you do is you take your hands and you mix it. All right, I'm gonna put these pink gloves on because I'm not over by my sink. Haven't quite washed my hands probably enough times today. And plus, I hate getting dough under my fingernails and in all my diamond rings, all right? And then that's it. You just go like this and you start mixing it in your bowl, all right? It will come together very easy. And here's the thing. If it's too dry, you just add a little more, too wet, you add a little more flour to it. If it's too dry, you add a little more Greek yogurt. That's it. You want it to become a dough. So keep working it with your hands until it all holds together and forms a ball of dough. All right, super simple. 2-ingredient pizza dough, Greek yogurt, and self-rising flour. I will put this recipe in the description at the end of the video, but you can always go on the internet and Google, how do I make pizza, 2-ingredient pizza dough with Greek yogurt? And the recipe will come up, all right? I do a lot of research on the internet, and this is how I come up with lots of my recipes. Oops, that kind of popped out. This is more difficult because like I'm up on this giant pan so that you can see what I'm doing. I want to make sure you see this, okay, coming together. Normally I would just kind of be on my counter and I would be kneading it like you would knead regular flour. All right, and it comes all together. So I'm going to speed up the process. What I would do next is dump this onto my counter and then just kind of mush it all together. But you see how it's all working together perfectly? I'm trying to keep it so you can see it. All right, so let's all pretend that Mrs. Gagliardi got all that flour in. And look, 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 look how fast that came together. Here it is. Look. Ta-da! How easy is that, okay? This dough is easier to work with than regular pizza dough because when you roll it, it doesn't like snap back. It just holds its shape. So you could put it into any shape you want and you can make your pizza as big or as small as you want. Sometimes I make this ahead of time and I just put it in a bag. Here's some right here. And I put it in my refrigerator and I leave it there for a couple days. And anytime I want to make something, the dough is ready. You could also freeze it and then take it out. All right? So here's my pizza dough right there. All right. Now, let's see. The next thing I would do is decide, do I want to make one big pizza, 2 small pizzas, 3 small pizzas, 4 small pizzas? It depends on what size you want to make your pizza. In my oven, I have my oven on 400 degrees, and I have a pizza stone in my oven. I like to make my pizza directly on a pizza stone. If you do not have a pizza stone, that's okay. Just use a pan and cook it in a pan, you know, like a sheet pan, or it could be a round tray, anything that you would make your pizza on. But again, if you're someone who likes to make pizza, you can invest in a pizza stone. They're usually only about $10. Look for one on sale. Mine is probably 10 or 15 years old. When I show it to you, it's gonna look super black. It's because I use it a lot, and that's called seasoned. It's seasoned. It's been used over and over again. It is not burnt, and I don't wash it when I'm done. I just wipe it down and I put it away because it just works better that way. So I'm gonna go grab the pizza stone. I don't have the oven on 400 right now, but because I didn't want to burn myself showing you how to do this. But normally it would come out and it would be like super, super hot. So let me just go grab my pizza stone. I'll show you what we're gonna do. So there's our dough, right? All right, let me grab the pizza stone from my oven. It's warm because I've used it already. All right, here we go. So, if you have a pizza stone, here's mine. I told you it's black. It's still hot because I've already used it. Okay, there it is. And what you want to do is you want to put your pizza stone on something, like I put a placemat under this. I would usually put a cutting board and a placemat on my counter, and then I put the hot pizza stone right on it. I leave it in my oven for like 30 minutes heating, right when I'm ready to make my pizza, okay? And then I take cornmeal and I put it on the pizza stone. So if you only have like a tray that you're going to use, you might want to put some cornmeal in the bottom. Kind of gives it that little bit of authentic pizza crust that you get when you're at the when you buy it from the store. There's my cornmeal, okay? Now, I can roll this out directly on my counter, or I could roll it out directly on my pizza stone. It really doesn't matter for this particular one, all right? But instead of making like one big pizza, I'm actually going to make a small pizza, some small ones. Now here, in half, right? I could make this into a perfect circle, and then I could cut it in half, and someone could have this much pizza, and the other person could have that much pizza. But instead, I'm just gonna break a piece off, all right? I'm just gonna show you how easy this dough is to work with, right? Now, normally I would roll this out on the counter first, but I'm afraid, let me see if I can move this just for a second. All right, take a little bit of flour. You don't need much because this dough's not really sticky. Let me see if I can move this down for you. You see that? Okay. So we're gonna put it down. I'm gonna take my gloves off. And you can make your pizza. Here we go. We're just gonna roll it out. It doesn't really need a lot of rolling. You could even do it with your hands if you don't have a rolling pin. Now, one thing about this particular crust or dough is don't roll it too thin, okay? Leave this one on the thicker side because it's a nice chewy dough. There it is, okay? Just like that. All right, now let me move this back over. I'm just gonna make a few small ones, all right? Now, you can leave it into a perfect circle if you want. You could cut it into the shape of a heart. You could do whatever you want when you make your pizza. All right, there it is. So you see that? Okay. Now, I would take the dough and I would make as many as I could all over. It would usually fit about 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Usually fit about 5, okay? And then I decide, what do I want to top my pizza with? The first thing I usually do is I take a little bit of olive oil and garlic. And boy, I'm not prepared today. I don't even have a spoon, but I would take a spoon and I would just, I'm gonna move this to the middle now so you can see it. Put a little bit of olive oil and garlic on the bottom of my pizza, okay? I like to do that for flavor, okay? Now here's Mrs. Gagliardi's trick. I'm gonna make a vegetable pizza, but you may wanna make just sauce and cheese or put pepperoni on it or whatever you want, okay? But I'm gonna make mine the way I make it. When you get your mozzarella, this mozzarella cheese, if you like mozzarella, you're going to put the cheese on the bottom. What? Crazy, right? You know why? Because sometimes when you go and cook your pizza, if you put it on the top, it ends up burning before the pizza's cooked. So we're gonna put our cheese on the bottom. Now, if you want sauce, you could buy a jar of pizza sauce, and then you could put your sauce on. And then you could put some, spices on it, or you could put on pieces of pepperoni, you could put on little pieces of leftover hamburg. Let's see, I have some leftover hamburg. I have some sliced plum tomatoes, that's how I like it. I have some leftover cooked broccoli, because I'm a vegetable lover. I have some chopped up zucchini. I have one mushroom that I chopped up. I even have edamame. My son makes edamame, and I just took them out of the pot. If you've never had edamame, they're really, you cook them in this pod. You get them in the freezer section, and you boil them, and then you open the pod, and this is the part you eat. So good and so healthy. So I already shelled some edamame. I might put that on my pizza. It could be anything you want. All right, I'm gonna show you my favorite pizza. So I like the cheese, the garlic and olive oil. Then I put a few slices of plum tomato. A plum tomato is just this kind of tomato, sliced thin. That's all. Okay, I like it like that. Then I like a little bit of chopped zucchini, just a little. Okay, if you say, oh, I don't like vegetables, chop them really fine. And then you won't really taste them, but you're still getting the healthy benefits. Okay, I like mushrooms, so I'll put on mushroom. This is the best part about making this pizza. Everybody makes it their own way, okay? I like broccoli. I'm gonna put on a little bit of broccoli, okay? Just a little bit. There we go. Now, I have some leftover hamburg. I just want a vegetable pizza, so I'm gonna put on some of that edamame, because I really like that. And I know this is super healthy. You go find that in your freezer section, and you just boil the pods in salted water, and when they're cooked, you open them and eat them. They're so good. I leave those in my fridge all the time. Look at that. All right. Then I'm gonna maybe take some oregano, because you put on whatever you want. There is nothing you have to put on. Maybe a little bit of salt, just a little, not too much, okay? Maybe a little pepper, okay? I could do basil if it was summertime, whatever, okay? Maybe an extra, I really like garlic, so maybe either garlic powder or some garlic salt. Oops, gotta open it first. But just a little, okay? So you're gonna build your pizzas on. Now, normally you're gonna build these on the counter and then you're gonna lift them to your hot pizza stove, because this would be like steaming hot, but it's just warm right now. It's starting to cook as I'm making it, all right? And then you could take another one and you could do a sauce one. Even if you do the sauce one, you're going to put the, say this one, you're gonna roll this one out and use it, okay? We'll just pretend. I'm not gonna do it right now. You would put your garlic and olive oil, your cheese, and then your sauce, all right? Then your oregano, your garlic, salt, pepper, whatever you want on it. Now you're gonna bake it in the oven. The oven's on 400. You stick it in, keep the oven light on. Watch it for like, I don't know, 5-10 minutes until it looks like it's cooked. Then you take it out. And 1 minute before you take it out, if you really want that look of cheese, you could put cheese a little bit more right on the top and it'll just melt and it won't get burnt, okay? And then I like to take my favorite vegetable of all, which is spinach. Don't say, eh. I promise you, you can't even taste it. I put a little bit of garlic on it. I chop it up. And then after the pizza is cooked, after it comes out, I just top it with a little bit of spinach like that. And it just gives it that fresh flavor. Let me show you two I already made. Here we go. So here's the one that's already cooked. I made this before you guys came. See the bottom's nice and crispy. Yum, yum, yum. Same pizza I just showed you. There's my fresh spinach. And I put a little bit of cheese right on the top just to make it look good. All right, so that one's cooked. Then I made the traditional kind that all kids like, right? Here's the one with the sauce. It was just the pizza crust. Then I put the mozzarella on the bottom, put the sauce. Then at the last minute, right when it was done cooking, I went and put a little more of that mozzarella cheese on top. But there's really a whole bunch under the sauce. That's what makes it so good. That's my trick. Put your mozzarella first, toppings, and then at the last minute, just a little bit more after it's cooked and it won't burn. Now, I did put the spinach on it. If you really are like, I don't like it, pick it off. But try it. I promise you, you will not taste this spinach, but it makes it look healthier. All right, so let's do our book. Ready? What's the book called? Forgot what the name of the book was. It's called Give Me Half. Ready? Here we go. Which one should I do? Oh, come on. I got to go with the vegetable. You know Mrs. Gagliardi's going to do vegetable. Okay, give me half. I'm going to go right down the middle. This was a nice, perfect circle. Here we go. Ready? Half for you and half for me. Ready? Give me half. I guess I should save this other half for Mr. Gagliardi. He's reading the paper. This pizza is so good. I really want you to try this. Easy, easy, easy to make this dough. Give it a try. Self-rising flour, Greek yogurt, any toppings you want. I hope you have a great night. It's time for me to finish making more pizza. And until next time, happy reading, happy cooking, everyone. And don't forget to share. Bye-bye.